What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's live stream. We are playing the Rockies franchise on MLB The Show, and we're going to go through some spring training games today. Getting ready for year 6 in the series. There is still a lot for us to accomplish, and I have really enjoyed the streams I've done lately, so I'm going to do some more of it here. Going through some laid-back spring training games and getting to talk with y'all, so should be a fun time. If you're watching this after the stream is over, scroll below on the play bar and you can find when the first game starts, second game, whatever's in here. You can use that to find the action, unless you want to hear all the other off-topic conversation and everything. I have no idea how long it takes for me to get started here. These intros run long. What's going on, everybody? Oh yes, a good Sunday stream here. I started doing this stream a couple minutes ago, but I think I was streaming to the wrong thing. So I don't know if there's like a 1-minute video of me talking about setting up this stream or not, but maybe. Hope y'all are doing well. It's Sunday afternoon, and I am in the mood for some MLB The Show. Want to play a couple games today, use a lot of the players that are on the roster bubble. We have some position battles going on. What I like to do in spring is kind of sim a week and then play a game, maybe sim another week, play a game again, and then player lock with anybody I need more info on. Because that way, I get my games in, but they're spaced out, so they have more spring training at bats and I can take a look at their stats and have more data to work off of, as opposed to playing the first 3 and simming the rest. Just kind of goofy to do it that way. But the chat is filling up. Thank y'all for being here. No idea how many want to watch this on a Sunday, but the video is still doing pretty good. Off season was pretty popular. Did pretty good for the channel, I think. I wish I could post this every day. I wish it was easier to do so. The videos on this channel take more time, so it's not all that doable, juggling everything I do. Oh yeah, Jose Miranda, man. It's been a lot of fun to watch him, especially over the last month or so. Hit that home run last night. Twins had a nice win. I think they start here in a few minutes, but I'm going to not see most of the game at least. So what I think I'll do here is I kind of want to get right into the action. It's spring training, laid back, so why don't I sim a handful of games and then let's play. We got Gallen on the mound in this one. Good to see him again. We'll take on Seattle and get to check everybody's stats, and I will throw in a bunch of players that we need more info on. So not many starters will play in this game. Yeah, Mike, the games have been tough this year. I think that I've had to tweak the slider set a little bit, but I really like where it's getting, because these to me feel a lot more like college football games, whereas the first season, the games were close. Some of them were, but to me, it didn't feel like college football. It felt like closer to professional, with the way it had more of a earn every yard feel. That's not college football. College football is not this tough, hard-nosed game. It's not. It's a high-flying, action-packed highlight reel. And I think this year's game, the games in Season 2 better reflect that. But yeah, I don't think I have to do much more to the slider set. I really like where it is. I got more of that coming your way here in a couple days. Yeah, let's get Errol Vera out there. Just all the players here we can. I want Valade to play this one at short. Appreciate the, yes, this is just started here, Sharks. Sports and Things, new member on the channel. Thank you very much for the new channel membership. And Ian drops a super chat. Would you consider doing a Madden franchise if you relocated the team? I've given that a lot of thought over the years, and I think my main hang up with it is that I can't relocate in year 1. I'd have to do like a year 2 relocation, and that would mean like a full season where you don't use this rookie class and you're just kind of simulating. Like, I think that would be pretty cool. Unless you're talking about just relocation during a regular old franchise. And I think I would under the right circumstances. So, like, if I could tell a reasonable story of, like, the team... Say we had a team that was bad for a long time. I think you could put in a relocation storyline there pretty easily. And just say, like, couldn't get a new stadium deal, and now we're playing in Anchorage, Alaska, or something like that. So, you know, that's always on the table. When it comes to storylines and things like that, I try to see what makes sense without forcing it. Criswell is having a Jameis-esque season. Some of the games feel a little bit like Jameis. And I don't think that is the worst comp. I think Jameis has a stronger arm, but Criswell's got a pretty good arm. They both can just let it rip. I think Criswell's got better mobility, though. Jameis isn't all that great moving outside the pocket. I play on Hall of Fame difficulty here on the show. It feels like the most balanced gameplay you can possibly have. All right, we don't need any more music here as we get to the actual games. Thoughts on the Ravens this year? I'm always pretty high on the Ravens. The main thing is, can they stay healthy this year? I mean, they suffered all those running back injuries a year ago. Secondary injuries on top of it. Like, last year was a bit throwaway because they just couldn't run the ball normally. So they had this abnormally high pass rate. Like, Mark Andrews, I think, had close to 1,300 receiving yards a year ago, and I don't think he comes anywhere close to that if they can do what they want to do, which is run the ball. Come on. We got Zach Gallen here, the new guy. Really excited about him joining the team this season, not having to play against him at all. Same with Dustin May. Both guys are just, if I ever had to play an episode against them, and I have multiple times, I knew I wasn't going to likely have a very good game. Yeah, Lamar had some injuries last year too. I think how many starts did Tyler Huntley make? Like 3? And they were pretty good. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Green Bay in that one game. Still think the Vikings should have beat them, though, but the Vikings should have won like 5 games. They didn't. Story of my life. I haven't followed a ton of Vikings camp. I need to get catch up on my podcast again. Come on, a 10-pitch walk to start. Yeah, I want to see what buzz is going down here, what players are getting hype. Have I considered playing this game with auto defense? I kind of like controlling defense to mainly focus on like diving tries, you know, the risk reward there, having control of that, and then just when and where to throw. We tried auto defense for a while. A lot of people didn't care for it. That was also when I had a setting wrong with my throwing, and it was messing up, creating a lot of errors for Javi Baez. I think it's a good feature, but I just didn't get great feedback when I had it. Into the gap, finally one put in play, and we'll get there. A lot of Andrew Booth hype. Hey, if they can actually get better in the secondary this year, they're a legitimate team to watch out for. Because I think the offense kind of speaks for itself. Going on to second base here, and got him. Johnny got the arm. But my concerns with the Vikings are the defense, because they've done such a poor job since 2017 of adding defensive talent. I mean, you look at the team that went to the NFC Championship game in 17, and the defense, this same defense now has a lot of those same players, as we strike out our good buddy Ty France, but they're just an older version of those players. And then where are the young guys that are replacing players who aren't there anymore, like Linval Joseph, and Terrence Newman, Xavier Rhodes? Where are the young guys taking over for them? Well, they're a lot further back in their development, and the last 4 years didn't net a lot of progress there. You know, maybe Armin Watts is good, maybe Cameron Dantzler is good, but the fact is in the last 4 years, they did not develop a single high-quality starter outside of who they already had. Who was the biggest get in the offseason? Probably Dustin May. Just to have another really high-quality strikeout pitcher, and we took him away from a rival, so you kind of count that one twice. Made them worse, made us better, as Veen flies to right. When will the first Madden stream be? First day of early access, I plan to stream. So if that's the 15th or the 16th, whatever that may be, I'll be there. Take that off my screen, please. The starting lineup is stuck. I bet I can fix that. I think I just need this screen to refresh. There we go. Oh, come on, man. If you missed any of the stream today, this will be available as a video as we get a base hit from Casey Golden. This is not like an official numbered episode. These streams aren't, unless they're live off seasons. But these are part of the franchise playlist still. Yeah, going back to the Vikings defense, I've seen a lot of talk the last few months about what they want to do with new defensive coordinator Ed Donatel. And what I'm hearing is that in camp, they're deploying a lot of different looks, a very multiple schemes. Some 3-4, 4-3, Daniil Hunter, Zadarius Smith, two guys that are going to move around a lot. My concern is if it's an overcomplicated defense in year one, or is it, you know, complex on the surface but really just simple concepts that they can run from multiple looks. That's all. And of course, like, I want to see if some of these guys can develop and get more playing time. Like Cam Bynum last year looked pretty good, and I hope the Vikings use some 3 safety looks. I think that would give them their best personnel in a lot of packages, to have Harrison Smith, Cam Bynum, and Lewis Cine on the field. Oh, the new Madden free agency sounded good on the surface. I want to, every year when Madden comes out, I make a video showing off like what a full year in franchise looks like. But there might be enough in this episode or this game to do a full video on just what an off season looks like. Although I guess my video usually ends up showing what a full year and the off season entails and what that experience is like. Yeah, Chargers and Vikings are basically the same team, except for they drafted a really good quarterback. So that's it. That's the only difference between the Vikings and the Chargers, the weather and the quarterback. Flied to right. That one is off the glove, and now scrambling to his feet as Golden will score. That'll go in as an RBI single for Aaron Shunk, despite not hitting the ball all that hard.
The first baseman, Michael Solia.
Got Michael Tolia. Now, he's a guy that I think could make the team as an exciting bench bat. You look at some of the ratings here, and I think, like, even if he has C potential, which is a 78 in his case, I still think, like, as a pinch hitter, that works pretty well. And also, the defense isn't bad if he has to be a spot starter. He can play corner outfield and first base. I think that he makes the team. Throwing so many change-ups here to start the day. Can we settle that down? Two and two. Way inside again. This has been a long first inning for Emerson Hancock. And that is ripped deep to right field, and Tolia shows off the power. A 2-run shot. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, Mike? Mike shows up and I hit a home run with a guy named Michael. Coincidence or fate? Good stuff. Wanted to try getting my swing right as well for the start of the year, and I think I kind of getting there again. Jammed, though. I think that's exactly it there, Dog. Will Dog. Tolia is kind of in that last year Josh Bell mold. Power bat off the bench, depth at first base. Can also play in the outfield. Like, it's a pretty good comp. Wow, Mike. That's, that's interesting. Going to Costco on a Sunday. I don't usually go there on the weekend. I don't want to go with hundreds of my best friends out there as much. Almost. Sam's over Costco. That's a hot take right there. What does Sam's have that matches the food court? Nats fan here. Thank you, Jaden, for the super chat. 1 second. I tried to check, but there's just no way to do it. Nats fan here. Happy with what we got from the Soto and Bell trade. What did I miss from the stream? This is the first game, so you might have missed the Michael Tolia home run. Not a whole lot, though. Yeah, so a lot of those big blockbuster trades, you get all sorts of, like, prospects, you know, like 6 players. That seemed more like a simple trade. Maybe I missed the full details, but I saw C.J. Abrams and Mackenzie Gore, 2 guys who, I think have a decent amount of Major League experience. I'm not sure exactly. I know Abrams has been there. He was playing against the Twins just before he got traded. But, was there more to it? Because I couldn't see it just being a 2-for-2 swap. That's a good pitch. And Nick, new member, got the 2-year badge. That reminds me, I have to update the badges, because now you can put on 3 and 4 years when you couldn't in the past, so I can change that. Nobody will top a Costco chicken bake. Yeah, I've had one of those. I really like the Costco pizza, and I mean a hot dog and a drink for $1.50 is hard to beat. Almost impossible to beat. I don't know, I just like going there. Costco's a fun place. It's just the feeling of being prepared sometimes. Like, I know I don't have to buy peanut butter for like a year because you buy them in bulk. It gives an odd sort of comfort. We're not going back to the hot dog talk today, Braven. We've done that enough. We got a home run. We got a home run in this game from Michael Tolia. That's about it so far. I mean, we're just getting started here. Strike 3 looking from Zach Gallen. Someone asked the pitching plan here. 3 innings for Gallon, and then just whoever has energy that we need to see. Trey was Abrams, Gore, Woods. Okay, Hassel, Voigt, and a pitching prospect. Okay, I just saw the big names there. Voigt's a big name, too. So they must have shipped off Voigt and Hosmer to save some money then. I imagine they'll work on an extension. What did they do? So Hosmer went to the Red Sox. So they just get like cash considerations back, or what was that deal? More fantasy football videos? Yeah, I plan on it. A lot of good feedback on that first one I did, the Underdog Best Ball stream over on the second channel. Not stream, but a video. I might do a stream. I think that'd be fun. Who wants to try and pressure me into drafting players live with real money on the line?
Batting 8, the catcher, number 8.
Jay Groom. That is hammered to right field, and that ball is run down near the track. Hosmer and 2 prospects for Jay Groom. Padres paying the rest of his contract. Gotcha.
Batting 9, the pitcher, Zach.
Gotta be interesting, like the Padres, you know, they're doing so well this year. And then, you know, they're in the hunt. They make the move for Soto, but it's like, if you're Abrams or Hosmer, gotta feel a little weird to, like, now not be part of a championship chase.
Now batting.
Yep, there will be a full version afterwards to watch on YouTube. It'll be in the Rockies franchise playlist. A little out in front of that one. Left center, because that... Oh, man. Thought that might drop in. That was pretty good contact, though, from Zach Veen. But they've made it this far without Tatis, which is pretty impressive. So, I don't know when he's expected to come back. Does he still have injured list time he has to get through, or is he rehabbing? Where's Tatis at in his recovery? Will the Vikings draft Bijan Robinson? I don't know. I'm excited to see him play, though. I imagine he's, you know, RB1 when he declares. First rehab yesterday. All right, getting close then. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a cool partnership so far, and it's just nice to... If I'm going to do sponsored content, it's obviously preferred when it's something I already know and familiar with. Like, I didn't need any direction from them. I know Underdog. 3-2 to Jake Fraley. Got him! There's no shot on the cutter. Absolutely not.
Batting 9, the pitcher, Emerson Hancock.
And just one more to go. Pretty good outing here for Gallon to this point. Had little trouble getting through the first inning, just getting outs, but we're cruising now. Yeah, to me, like, a good cutter is my favorite pitch in baseball. Because you get kind of the best blend of movement and velocity together, to me. Let's go in on the hands here. Man, we shouldn't be walking the pitcher. I really don't want to see Ohtani be a Yankee. I can't have that happen. I really need them to give Aaron Judge like a $50 million a year contract, and then maybe give Stanton 1-2, and maybe overpay a pitcher. Just whatever it takes so they can't afford Ohtani when that time comes up. Come on, Zach. Throw it right down the middle. Can't do it.
Now batting, left field, Jared.
Not testing here as the throw comes home. Let's get the bullpen going.
Now batting, third baseman, Ty France.
Oh, we got to see Jelly soon. It's Ty France, bases loaded. Well, I think Judge can get 30 a year, but it's going to have to be on a shorter term contract if he's already 32. Forget how old these guys are sometimes, but it's like, you know, Judge wasn't like an early guy to come through the organization there, but on top of that, like, he's been around for a while now. It's just he was hurt for a while. He had that big rookie season, and this is kind of the best we've seen since then. But like, he was on the cover at MLB 18. Like, he's been around. Oh, he's 30. Okay.
The left fielder, Casey.
I could still see him getting like a 7-year deal, just because that's the way baseball is. You'll pay for a guy's early retirement, like Albert Pujols at the end of that Angels deal. You'll pay for the early retirement, essentially, those terrible years at the end, so you can get hopefully a good 5 at the front of the contract. I mean, I haven't played Madden 23. I didn't try to play the beta. I don't know, it's like, it's Madden. I play it every year. And this is just a version of it I can't make content on. So I was like, I never really cared to check out the beta. But the opinions that I cared about regarding the beta were pretty good. So we'll see. Any chance of a new Madden 23 franchise on the main channel? I am hoping to start one up. Thought I would go inside. If the game is in good shape, there aren't a lot of bugs and issues with it like there were in 22, I'll absolutely be trying to start something up. But last year, I mean, we were waiting on the scouting update. There were issues with so many of the new features. I mean, progressive fatigue, I'm still expecting that to be broken because they haven't talked about it. Progressive fatigue was a good idea. Poor initial execution, I believe. So, I'll have to just see how the game releases. But, I guess cautiously optimistic based off what I heard so far. Yeah, I think Pearson probably at the majors this year. I think that his speed and defensive ability is something we're going to want to see. Tolia to right center. He already has 1 home run, and this one is gone. Michael Tolia's 2nd home run. Is he making the team right here? Oh, I know, Mike. The fact that PC is still getting last gen treatment. Unbelievable. Like, it's not comparable to the PS5 Xbox Series X version. You're missing momentum and some of those features, and I'm pretty sure gameplay would also be different. And PC opens up so much with modding and everything that I would move to PC as my main platform for Madden if it was just the current gen version. But it's not. Slider test 2. Yeah, I would need to check that out. Can't stand slider testing anymore. But I do want a Madden franchise to play. There is Matt 10, though, and he does a lot of the slider stuff, and I talk to him a lot, And he helped me so much with Madden 20. And that's why Madden 20 will go down as one of my favorite Maddens ever. Because the games I was getting, once, like Matt 10, he does like big slider threads on Operation Sports. And I started talking to him during Madden 20's life because I needed some help. And I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to give him some of my thoughts and see if we could collab a little bit. And we became good friends because Madden needs so much work with sliders. And eventually we just became good friends. So Madden's slider situation created a friendship. And a pretty good slider set that year. I was having a lot of fun with that. So we got Mr. Sean Jelly on the mound. Got him looking, strike 3. That's true. The AI quarterbacks had a lot of issues. They did not leave the pocket much. That was a problem, though, in the PS4 generation for many of the games. I feel like last year is when they finally got the QB AI to a spot where I felt it was really good. But I didn't make a franchise on 22 or 21, so other than my franchise rebuilds. I was pleasantly surprised with how much the team improved this offseason. Keep up the great work. Can't wait for the hopeful Madden 23 franchise. Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you for the super chat. Yep, I plan to do something like that on 23. I've had fun with those rebuilds since 2018. Just looking to see if I can do one on the main channel as well. I've done an NBA 2K franchise. It's just outside of my wheelhouse is all. But people want to see me try my rebuild format for it, where I manage the team, but I don't actually play. And in 2K, not having to see me play would be a big plus. I like managing the team. 1 and 2. Good inning for Sean Jelly. Maybe he goes 2 innings. Was there a second channel franchise that felt like it fell below your expectations? The Browns and Texans felt like they exceeded them? Yeah, I would say the Giants franchise, like, expectations in terms of... I felt like the Giants franchise would be more difficult, and I felt like the effort I put in to making sure, like, the franchise economy was tough fell short. Because we won early, we won often, and it was basically the easiest franchise rebuild I've done. On the ground. That's France. So I still had fun with the Giants franchise rebuild, but I thought I could make it more difficult by handling the XP the way I did and making free agency more of a factor, but it didn't work. At the end of the day, the CPU in Madden just doesn't make a good team very much, so... that's got to get stepped up. Do I consider Brian Petrovsky the best player out of all my series? I think at this point, he's got a good case for being the channel GOAT. With all those titles. Always seemed like, no matter what he did early in the game, throwing interceptions or whatever, he'd always finish it the right way. So far, so good. Let's keep the bullpen going here. I do want to pitch with Reed Detmers, but he's just not at full rest for this game. Who wants to see a little Mickey Littlefield? Thank you, Mike. The thing is every one of those series has had a Hall of Fame quarterback, essentially. I wonder if there's ever going to be one of those series where it's tougher for me to find the right guy. I mean, in the Cardinals series, Unger wasn't the first guy we ever tried to be the starter. But he was like the second try. J.W. Unger is my GOAT. Yeah, you got a fair argument there for a few quarterbacks. I think Unger, Petrovsky, and Sparks would be the top 3 there. And it's cool, too, doing those series because, like, the ratings and everything ends up mattering the most. There's no me controlling the quarterbacks, throwing interceptions. So if they do it, it's always their fault. And if they, you know, make big plays, throw touchdowns, it's credit to them as well.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for Seattle. Number 34, Matthew Robin.
Speaking of past series, what is year 6? It's the 6th year of the franchise is what we're getting into. As we approach Madden, I already put out one video on the second channel. That was me going back to Madden 2001 and kind of revisiting that game after 20 plus years, because that was my first Madden. I got another video I want to do here on the main channel, I think. Let me know what you think of this. What if I did a video where I went back to my old franchise files from the beginning, early days on the channel? I thought about going into my Vikings franchise files, Rams franchise, Raiders franchise, and just going in there and checking it out. The rosters, the career stats, records, and just kind of diving into those files after all these years. I think I'll make a video where I go back to those first 3 on the PlayStation 3. I have all the files still. I checked for them today. I have them all. And, ooh, ugly. If that video was received well, I could go back to check out the PS4 era franchises as well. With the Panthers and the Jaguars and the Chargers and the Chicago Bears. I did a Bears franchise. I forget about that sometimes. How can I forget Clay Stites? And of course, there is the Broncos franchise, but that is obviously more recent. Ended only a year ago. I think that'd be pretty fun. That is going to center. But, nope. Just missed. 5-0. You know, I like taking players from past series and bringing them into other games. I think when, like, another PGA game or something comes out, another sport, I think I want to bring Adam Kane into one of those. I want his story to be that his NFL career kind of washed out. But maybe now he took his rookie quarterback contract money. He's done playing football, and now he's just going to grind out the PGA Tour or something. That would be a cool story, I think. I more so like continuing the story of players like that than, like, putting myself into a game. Like, I've never wanted to make myself in a game, really. I'm way more interested in one of these fictional players and having this long, interconnected web of narratives and stuff. But yeah, I think, like, an Adam Kane pro tennis career or something is definitely on the table. Isn't there a new tennis game coming out soon, or maybe it is out? And also, when's the next PGA game? Because 2K21 was an awesome game. I really enjoyed it. Oh, Chris, you're way past 2 years. You're at 44 months. You're almost at 4 years. Appreciate the membership. I got to update your badge. That's my bad. Do someone in FIFA. Ja'Cory Day, FIFA career. Is like FIFA career mode really a thing worth getting into? I had one of my friends go on the franchise mode or career mode, whatever it is, just to show me what it was like. And it seemed really cool. Again, we go back to sports I know absolutely nothing about. I get at least, I think I read a comment every week. Nice job, Mickey. Kane, you should play Football Manager. I think it would really fit you. I don't think that's a proper starting point for someone like me. I think I need a good couple years training or something on FIFA before I can handle any of that. But I mean, I've been hearing about Football Manager, it feels like, for 15 years. Jammed a second. Yeah, I wanted to play Match Point Tennis. That's the one I have to check out. I wanted to play Out of the Park when it came out this year, and it just wasn't a good time for me to get into it. I didn't have the extra time to check it out with all the series and everything I was doing. Match Point Tennis. One sec. Don't pitch to Tolia yet. What did IGN give it? Match Point Tennis. Oh no. It got a 5. That's the problem with some of these sports games that aren't main sports, is they don't get like big budget releases and they just end up being terrible every time. Sports Network, new member on the channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Every month I do a channel member live stream, and the one for July just happened last weekend, but I typically talk about some plans for the channel in those streams and get gameplay typically with the Rockies. Sometimes I just play a random game if it's not a good time to play Rockies. Catch up to 91, dude. 1 and 2. Better. Tennis is so hard to do well, but I think it could be incredible if done right. Yeah, I haven't really played a professional tennis game very much. That's bounced to the right side. Played like Mario Tennis and Hot Shots Tennis. But I'm interested. Like, how good was Top Spin back in the day? I remember like Top Spin 2, Top Spin 3. To left, slicing away, but caught. Kalispell Baseball and MVP 07? Possibly. I'm interested in that. I think I would have fun with the college baseball, because at least I speak baseball. I understand football, I understand baseball, and that's kind of where I dedicated all my resources. That was a nice play by Valade. Check that one out again. Working to his left. Beautiful. Need to play Switch Sports? Man, I was wanting that game to be awesome, but it just looks so light on content. That's my problem with sequels. Is okay, Switch Sports is a sequel to Wii Sports, and Wii Sports 2, and Wii Sports Club. Why isn't it doing more? Why is it a bare bones sequel? That's my issue. There's like 5 sports, and then you wait months for golf to come out. No, I don't want to play golf on Switch Sports. Mario Golf is better. PGA 2K21 is better. Do something else. On the ground. And we have shut this team down. Well, I appreciate that, Sports Network. Thank you. PGA 2K21 is the best golf game of all time. It wouldn't shock me if that was objectively the case. It is a really fun game. And I've seen a little bit, because like Matt 10 played that game a lot, and he was showing me some things. Like, some of the leagues that really take it seriously on there are really cool. I've never put in the time to, like, you know, want to be competitive on there and try to make a cut and have these big tournaments every week. But if you're a big golf fan, I'm sure it's a great game. Not to mention, you can make custom courses and stuff like that. I only ever played it on the Switch. And I know it was probably better on PC or console, but I was playing so much Switch at the time, I couldn't resist. I have a video of it on my second channel. That was a lot of fun to make. Nope. I have no idea plans for the next college football game. We'll see when it comes out what they do with it. I'm getting better at the PCI. I think I'm still kind of green with it, but it's working pretty well in there. I haven't minded the change as much as I thought I would. I have not played Multiverses. I'm not really familiar with the game. I just know of its existence because a friend told me about it. Base hits, Errol Vera. Editing software, I use Vegas personally, but if anybody's ever looking like, what should I use? I always recommend Premiere because it's more integrated with all of Adobe's products. Ooh. And it's probably a better editor. But I've used Vegas for over a decade, and I ain't changing. I am not learning new tricks. I'll deal with all of Vegas's flaws and bugs on my own. Plan for Madden on the second channel. Probably another franchise rebuild. I have given it some more thought. If I want to just jump right into a big franchise rebuild or do some smaller projects on the second channel. Because now I've done like 5 years straight, basically non-stop, a big franchise rebuild. There's been some breaks, like when I was doing the practice squad rebuild. Do I want to just jump into a regular team rebuild or do something like the practice squad rebuild when Madden comes out? That was an ugly at-bat, man. So I'm still thinking about that. You know, I plan to start a franchise on the main channel. I want to. So I wouldn't mind doing something very different on the second channel with like a theme of some sort. I don't know. I know that if I decide to do a regular rebuild, like I did the Giants, I started that one in October, I think, or November, that if I want to do a rebuild like that, I can kind of do it anytime. Come on. but I want to get a regular franchise on the main channel. And I've talked a little bit about, like, okay, what would that mean for the Rockies series? Because I think my current upload schedule and stuff that I've been following that I really like works really good for 2 series on the main channel. Because I'm basically posting every other day on this channel. And I think that 2 series is a good amount for that. What I think will happen is I would keep the Rockies going because there's just more to do. And I don't want to completely stop and try to start it back up later. But I would go to less episodes per month, maybe 1 or 2, but they're really big episodes. Think about episode 100, and it would be like that, just without all the highlights. But it would cover a lot more games, a lot more ground, and they'd feel a bit more special. The other thing I'm trying to figure out is, like, how long do I do UTSA? Because I don't plan to play college football revamped beyond the new NCAA game next year. I'll have played the game for 10 years at that point. I'll be ready to move on to the new game. So I look at it like I have 11 months or so to do what I want with UTSA. And we're close to ending year 2. When is the Rockies going to end? As Ramirez finally gets a strikeout. Hard to say because I just really enjoy it. And we're not done. I don't know how long it's going to take. Do some smaller what-if type rebuilds. Like, what if the Dolphins were found guilty of tanking and lost 10 first-round picks? The Dolphins getting penalized draft picks made it slightly more likely that I pick them for something I do this year. That's hammered. And gone. Because the main thing sometimes for me on Madden is give me a challenging situation to work. And starting out not having a first-round pick in year 1 is the type of challenge I like. But to me, here with the Rockies, I see this as my chance to do what I did with the Broncos and just do the series for as long as I feel like. You know, it took us a while to win a championship with the Broncos. It was just once we did, we couldn't stop. That defense I had was loaded, man. Boogie Turner and Jamari Akinjide on the same defense. And then Eric McKinney became a superstar. We did so much in that game with that defense. Hey, Brandon Gold was on our team.
Number 53, Leonardo Rivas.
Bottom 8. Let's give Tony Losi a chance to close it out. So we've hit 2 home runs in this game from Michael Tolia, and then an RBI single. All those earlier in the game. Yeah, I can do minor league teams. I don't know if I'd enjoy a long-term minor league franchise because there wouldn't really be a goal if I'm just controlling the minor league team. I'd just be developing players, which I think would just not be long-term fulfilling for me.
Up next for Colorado, the center fielder, Jacob
I'm just late on everything right now.
Pearson.
Got a piece of it at least. I want to see how many strikeouts I've had in this game.
Up next for Colorado, the third baseman, Aaron.
The defense was just unfair. We had elite players at so many positions. And the thing is sometimes I would sub out the starting defense and put in the backups, and immediately we give up like 2 touchdowns. So you could tell, like, it was the players, not the sliders. And I mean, look at the talent we had. That was how they should have played.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's go for the save here. Tony Losi. He's made a lot of appearances this year.
Number 38.
So this is a pretty good showing for him in the spring to potentially make the team.
Leading off for Seattle, the right fielder, Luis Liberato.
Yeah, that and my Minnesota Year 10 defense. 2 of my favorite defenses I've ever constructed. I've also had some pretty nasty defenses with the Giants franchise, but so much of that team was players I began with. Whereas the Broncos defense and the Minnesota defense, I really built those. Whereas with the Giants, I developed it and just threw on the finishing touches.
Now batting, the first baseman, Joe Wilson.
I don't even know anything about the teams in the NBA right now, honestly. Like, I don't even know where Kevin Durant is. Is he a free agent? I don't know what team he's on.
Now batting, second baseman, Sam Haggerty.
That's foul, hopefully. Yeah. Still on the Nets. Doing a Nats franchise in MLB 22 and playing spring training, got Tim Anderson and Joey Gallo in free agency. Lost 99 games in year 1. Well, hopefully you can turn it around with those 2 on the team. That's the risk you take when you sign free agents. There you go. Losi closes it out. Thank you, Jaden, for the super chat. That was a solid win. That was a fast game. I have not even been live for an hour, and we just played a full game. But there were only like 10 hits in the game, so a nice, quick baseball game. How was that, Mike? Are you still here? Was that a good pace? Let's see. I did strike out 9 times. With the best batters, too, at the top of the order. We struck them out 10 times. But a pretty good outing there. That was fun. And Michael Tolia, I mean, we do these streams and play these games so we can take care of some position battles in the bottom of the roster. And that is definitely going to give him a good chance to make the team. I'd be shocked if he didn't. So I just simmed a bunch more games. Let me save quick. You're in the middle of 2 best ball drafts at the same time. That'll be me later. Yeah, I don't think this is the year for Mickey Littlefield's Major League debut, but he's on the 40-man roster now. Otherwise, he would be Rule 5 eligible. And I had to put him on the 40-man. So while he's here, let's, see where he's at. And where he's at in 4 innings has been solid. But there are a couple more pitchers I'd like to use, like Curtis. Let's go play a game here against Kansas City. How is this looking? Nice. I can use Curtis in this game. I mean, we know the pitchers. I really want to pitch with Detmers as well. It looks like he's had kind of a rough spring. He's out of options, though. So we're not going to be sending him down. It just kind of has to work. But we're sorting out who's going to be that 5th starter. Michael Wilkerson, we're looking at, these aren't the spring stats. They're there. 6.5 ERA. Let's just pitch with him here and see how it goes. We need a Kane Football Soccer Manager series. Maybe if I did something live, that would be fun. I appreciate the super chat. I know I have to dive in eventually. Did you want me to play with some of the starters as well, or kind of more of the same players that we've been seeing? What would you like in this game? Maybe more half and half, or 3 starters? Nope, Detmers wasn't a Rule 5 pick. We traded for him. Hunter, we played a full game, and Michael Tolia hit 2 bombs. So that's all you missed so far. Couple of homers. Looked really good. Yeah, let's let Edwards play because he's probably a starter now. And then Reynolds, just so I don't know. I want Pearson at bats too bad. So we're just going to have Edwards out there hitting leadoff. All right, we're good. Yeah, I don't want to have to clear waivers on Detmers. Like, I traded partially as a salary dump, but also, like, he's a good talent to try and develop. And we need to take shots, basically. Aaron Judge, a Royal. At this point, we all just have to assume the Yankees are going to pay Judge, right? How are the Twins doing right now? I need to keep an eye on the score. They have a chance to win this series against the Blue Jays. They are losing 1-0.
Colorado, the second baseman, Xavier Edwards.
Any Blue Jays fans in the chat here? What was the injury for Mesa last night? Like, that was...
First pitch.
It was an awkward collision he had. But, like, the way he reacted, it seemed like a really serious injury. Dislocated shoulder. It seemed very dislocated based off of his reaction. Like, he was in a ton of pain. Going to left center off the bat of Edwards, but it's tracked down. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, it's a big game of whack-a-mole. How do I keep these bots from showing up? Blocking certain words and phrases they'll use. I'm not sure if there's, like, I don't want to have to block emojis. That's a way around it, I think, that they use. Maybe, I think there's like a Nightbot plugin I could probably get that would take care of that more and have it automated, which would be nice. Going the other way this time, and that one's caught. Laying out and left. What a play. Couple of well-hit balls to start the day. Nothing to show for it. Logan, I thought last night's game was pretty enjoyable, to be honest. You don't enjoy watching Mark Contreras go yard? He went yard last night, right? Yeah, second of his career, or was it the other night he went yard? And then Nick Gordon's had all these big hits lately, and he's looked like he's developing more at the plate. He's actually developing some power, too, which I never thought he would. Yeah, that was Friday. Yeah, Miranda hit the 3-run last night. I think there was another homer. Could be wrong. Kirilloff might have to get surgery. That wrist has been a problem, it feels like, for a year. Celestino's gotten a lot better, too. He's at least more of an on-base guy this year. Like, they've had some solid development with the young guys. I'll give them that. And I think it's a big help when they've lost guys to injury. Like, Buxton doesn't play every day. They haven't had Sano, and when they have, he's been really bad. Here's Judge. Good luck, Michael. So, like, they've had to play these guys a lot. Like, Celestino has been up and down a million times. Miranda's had a couple stints, and now he's looking, you know, like he's in Rookie of the Year conversation. I think Gordon is, like, playing well. Versatile defender, and I don't feel like he's a hole in the lineup or anything. Jeez. Watch out. Hey, back there. Look out. Great to finally catch a live stream again. Who are your favorites for the World Series this year? Leo, I'd be hard-pressed to pick against the Yankees in the American League right now, the way they're playing. It feels like their most complete year in a long time. I don't know about the National League. I think it's pretty competitive there. I think in the American League, it's just like Yankees and the Astros are kind of in a league with themselves, and everybody else, to me, is just chasing. National League, Dodgers are going to be in there, and then the Padres, you know, we don't know what they look like with Soto and Tatis yet, so that's going to be a big problem. Mets are still pretty good, too. You got the Braves, who have been much better since their start. That is going to be a tough play, but we're going to try to make it. And now throwing to second base. Not in time. Yeah, the Orioles are just geographically unlucky. They should try to go and join the NL East instead. Yeah, I think Julio still wins it, but I think Miranda, like, gets up there at least.
Hitting up for Colorado, the right fielder, number 13.
I've been out in front of those sliders hardcore lately. Every time I'm like, all right, I need to settle down and look at a pitch. It's always fastball down the middle. That Duran's been awesome to watch. Nice to have one of those guys actually on the Twins. It always feels like they're facing those guys that have the devastating stuff in the 100s, and the Twins are just rolling out finesse pitchers. Nice to fight fire with fire for a change. Kind of like how the Twins became more of a power team after years of small ball. That's what I grew up watching. I like the Twins' deadline deals. I didn't think they could make deals like that without giving up more. I'm not sold on Jorge Lopez being this elite closer. I know he's been good this year. But I know what he was. So I'm not totally bought in. But I really like the trade for Maley. And just getting Fulmer for basically nothing was good. Lopez looked really good last night, though. That was a quick outing. 1-1 to Quintero. I did see that safety squeeze. That was the play Meza got hurt on. How about the Jake Cave triple, though? You see that play? I think it would have been a double, but Teoscar Hernandez jogged after the ball into the corner. We're battling. Fouled off a couple, and now the 3-2.
Batting seventh, the third baseman.
Yeah, I remember when the Twins played against Lopez earlier this year, and I'm like, he's an elite closer this season? No, I know. I used to stack against this guy in fantasy baseball. And then the Twins got after him 2 games against the Orioles. I'm like, yeah, that's Jorge Lopez. That's the Jorge Lopez I know. But I mean, just watching him pitch in his 2 outings with the Twins. First one, he kind of got unlucky. A bunch of singles that weren't hit hard in a row. But he has had really good stuff. I didn't know he had that kind of velocity where he can reach 100. So maybe this is just where he's best for the rest of his career. Two and 2 to Aaron Shunk. Got to sit back a bit more on that slider. I think a big part of why they pull pitchers so early is probably data on third trip through the order. And I think just kind of being realistic about the talent level of the pitchers and not leaving them in for a long time. The thing is all that's done is highlight the problems with the bullpen because they're having to pitch way more. When you're pulling guys after the 4th, sometimes you're putting stress on a bullpen that wasn't good to begin with. I think that was the plan, though, all along with a guy like Archer. Like, really effective if he can go 4 innings. But I think to keep him healthy and keep him from getting destroyed, that's just kind of the plan. And I think it's overall worked out.
Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Edward Olivares.
0-1. One and one.
Oh, come on. He was fooled by that, and we don't get the call? There you go. Just kind of going with what the catcher calls most of the time today. Let's go curveball away, though, 2-2. We got NFL preseason games coming up this week as Wilkerson drops it on the outside corner. Olivares cannot believe it. That was a perfect pitch.
Third baseman, number 17.
I did not watch a single play of the Hall of Fame game. Was it any good? Oh, thanks, Elijah. Yeah, I got this from the dev team when they sent me a bunch of stuff for the show when this game came out. I felt like, hey, I'm going to stream this specific game. I'm going to wear this shirt while doing it. I might check out the highlights from that game, though. I think there were some players in there I wanted to see. That is hammered to right field. Amador gives it a ride. It's gone. I thought that was a double off the wall. But Amador has just speed run the home run record, I think, at this stadium. That was out in a hurry. That's awesome, Kenny. How'd the team look? Who were your first picks? Turned on it. Would I rather be a GM or a head coach in the NFL? GM. I'm not qualified for either, but I would do much better, I think, as GM. At least I have experience pretending.
Now back, second baseman, Xavier.
How was the Dynasty draft going? Oh, me and Mike wrapped that up the other day. It went really well, I think. Took a chance on young quarterbacks, but, I mean, we got a nice squad, I think. Raiders controlled that whole game. Did we get to see Zamir White at all? Was there a Snoop Connor sighting? Ended up with J.J. Eckler and Allen. Nice. So you must have picked... Ooh, wow. Jefferson and Eckler? That's not a combo I've ever gotten or had a chance. He went off. Zamir ran well. I think that running back job's up for grabs. Completely up for grabs. Yeah, that's clearly outside. 3-2. Ooh. I lied. I saw the first play of the Hall of Fame game because I was checking out how the new NFL Plus thing worked. So I saw the first play was him throwing it deep. I don't even know who made the catch. But it was an ugly play. But it worked. Oh, you can link it like that, Mike? That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, we put everything on Trey Lance with our first ever Dynasty pick, which wasn't my favorite choice, but when you're picking 11th and it's a super flex league, you can't ignore quarterback. And I wanted to take somebody with upside, so Mike had to talk me into it a little bit. Top 3 most important positions in baseball to you? Thank you for the super chat.
Number 13.
I don't know what I'd say the most important positions are. Like starting pitcher, like ace pitcher, shortstop for defense, and hopefully a good spot in the order. And then I've always put a lot of value in a really good outfielder too, like a center fielder like Byron Buxton or Torrey Hunter that just plays outstanding defense and can hopefully give you great offense as well. Here's a drive from Veen, but that ain't gonna get it done. I got Chase, Aaron Jones, Michael Thomas, and Herbert in a 20 league fantasy. 20? 20 teams? That's a lot of teams. It's also a pretty good haul if you're drafting against 19 people.
The catcher.
Really? You think first base, Mike? Yeah, 20 is complete chaos, depending on how, like, deep the bench is. Once you get past, like, 18 rounds and a 12 team, you're talking guys who might not make the team.
The batter, the second baseman.
I probably will change Wilkerson's motion. We have a couple guys who have really generic ones. It might just be generic one, and I'll probably give them something else for a little personalization. Yeah, I think catcher's you can make a good argument for catcher. The defensive help at first base is so important. You mean just being able to, like, to handle bad throws? But I think catcher is really important too. But is it a fair argument to say that there are so few catchers in the league at one time that make that much of a difference? Like, it just seems like 20 catchers are just solid defenders, terrible hitters. There are a couple that separate. There you go. The CPU loves to get that second base. Oh, he got a hold of that one. Golden to left center. This one's gone. We like that. Casey Golden. Let's not forget about him. I don't think he has any options left. We'll have to check. Yeah, closers aren't actually as important as they may seem. Like, when they make a mistake, it sure looks like they're really important. The difference they make is noticeable really in the moment. That has a chance to fall in. As a matter of fact, out of room. Most underrated position in football, I think, is safety. Out of all of the positions that are, like, if you just look at the top paid players by position, the lower ones tend to be guard, off-ball linebacker, non-pass rushers, and safeties. And to me, an elite safety still makes a world of a difference when you have a guy that's versatile and just... Wow, that's a contact swing home run. Get out of here. Ronnie A. Quintero, a contact swing homer to the bullpen. But to me, it's safety. I've seen what elite safeties can do for a defense. I think it makes everything better when you can have a guy that makes a true difference back there. You can skate by with average safeties, but they're not going to change games. Whereas elite safeties can completely, like, think about Ed Reed and the impact he had. No one felt like safety was devalued when he was out there.
Now batting, the third baseman, Aaron Shum.
That's into center. Base hit, Shunk.
Now batting, designated hitter, Ryan Malone.
No other videos today, Darth. I'm working on some, but nothing else coming out today. That's into left field. Valade singles. I feel center could be a bit underrated. Yeah, I mean, it's still a lower paid position, but it is a pretty important spot along the line, especially when that spot's not filled well. Just got a haircut. How's Jelly doing? Jelly gave us 2 good innings earlier. Very good. That's pulled into left, but it's playable. Is an off-ball linebacker worth $20 million?
Now batting, the second baseman,
I really don't think so.
Xavier Unruh.
In a vacuum, no. But when you have a rookie quarterback contract or you don't have a lot of dead money, it can be fine for the right player. I know who you're talking about, Mike. Into center from Edwards. We'll bluff. See what I got there. What do I think Kendricks is worth? 12.
Now batting,
If I were to just
center fielder,
ballpark a blank number like that, I'd say like 12. As he ages. And that one is caught at short. We hit the ball hard that inning. That was a good one. Safety is actually a position that PFF is turning around on, saying it is more valuable, especially ones that can cover the slot. You know, I think it's always, you have to always compare things to one another.
leading up for the Royals,
So, for instance,
the right fielder,
we're in an era of quarterback right now where I think it's a true negative if you're a quarterback that can't add anything with mobility. Because there are so many quarterbacks that are doing it. Nice job. 3 pitches to strike out Judge. If you are not a mobile quarterback in today's NFL,
center fielder,
I think that you need to be so good at everything else to really be considered a franchise quarterback. You know, and I think Joe Burrow is showing that he's got that, the processing and the accuracy and everything to be great from the pocket. But I don't think it means a lot anymore to just be good from the pocket. So, translating that over to the defensive side, if you got safeties who can line up all over the place, man up on a tight end, blitz, you have enough of those guys in the league, it becomes the new standard. And it's important to have a guy that can do that because you're at a disadvantage if you don't. So, I think there are some pretty good safeties in the league. Maybe not as good as some of the best we've seen over the last decade. Like, there's nobody here in an Ed Reed conversation or anything, or a Troy Polamalu to me. But you do have some guys that are real nightmares. Odds Kirk puts up 40 touchdowns this season. I'd give it like 5%. I think Kirk ends up with 34. Which I suppose isn't that far lower. Who do I think is worth more, Donald or TJ Watt? Donald. The contact quality has been there in this game. I like Jeremy Chin a lot. He is really versatile. I saw a lot more of his rookie season. The Panthers, in the days at Darnold last year, I didn't see as much of them. One of the issues there is they're one of those teams whose most of their schedule is just stuck at noon with everybody else. So they didn't get a lot of spotlight games. Cousins over under is 31.5. Okay, I said 34, so I'm on the higher end. But I'm also like just high on the passing game, not being held back by inept coaching anymore. That's one thing. I think the Vikings offense has a chance for a really big leap. They were like number 1 in 3-and-outs last year. They had huge penalty issues. They were constantly in long third downs, and yet they still put up points, put up big plays, and have some of the best skill talent in the league. And that's all still there. So if they can cut down on first down penalties, long third downs, and actually have a good offensive mind calling the shots, the Vikings' offensive ceiling is very high. Veen to right, and he takes this one deep. It's gone. That's the thing, too. Cousins is an Iron Man. Actually, Matthew, I'd say you have missed something good. We've had a lot of nice offense in this stream from the young guys trying to make the team. I've been on specifically these last 2 innings. Feeling good. When I have days like this, I just want to keep playing and hopefully ingrain it as like permanent muscle memory and everything. Where was this in the wild card game? Hey, I didn't have a great wild card game, but the contact wasn't there on any of the good swings, besides the one with Solak. Thanks, Matthew. Late. Would I agree that Jefferson is the most important player on the Vikings? Yes, I would. I mean, outside, like, if Kirk got hurt and they were playing Sean Mannion, yeah, they're, like, hanging out with everybody else in the top 5 for the draft because their backup quarterback situation is not okay. Not so good there. I think it's more fun to have that conversation completely excluding quarterbacks because we all know how important it is. So obviously we all know the most important on the Chargers would be Justin Herbert, regardless of who they had. You could have Aaron Donald on steroids and your quarterback is still more important, you know. But to answer that question for other positions there, I think is fun. Cleveland, most important player on the Browns, probably Garrett. I just think that there's so much value in the elite edge rushers. That can't be understated. Chargers, I mean, we could just go right to Bosa. Count. Are the boys in contention? Yeah, I mean, they were the #1 scoring offense last year, and they have a good roster. It's just one of those teams that never seems to actually reach expectations. That's the one thing you hesitate on. And I'm guilty of this like everybody else, but the consensus last year was that Washington would win the division with Taylor Heineke and Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, just because one year they had a good defense and went 7-9. That to me is like, I still think about that we should have saw that as a trap, and that there was too much credit given to Washington for one good year of defense. Because nobody wants to be high on Dallas, ever. I think that was a massive miscalculation and bad groupthink. But with that being said, I think Amari is a huge loss, even if they have CD Lamb. Obviously, Michael Gallup's been hurt. But yeah, Zeke's older. The O-line, not best in the NFL. That's a long ago narrative. But I still think it's a good roster, top to bottom. Give Jerry Jones some credit. He can build a team. That gets away from Quintero and there is no play. I really want to see Huntley go somewhere. I'm a little surprised that no one tried in the offseason because he looked really good a year ago. But I mean, I can't tell you how many times in the 20 years I've spent watching this game that I've seen the backup quarterback do well, but then go to a new team with a new coach and a new situation and not match that same success. Like, consider Matt Schaub as one of the only times it worked. And I think 9 times out of 10 it fails. For every Matt Schaub, you get like 10 Kevin Cobbs. Matt Castle, yeah. Actually, Castle went to a Pro Bowl with the Chiefs. That's a fun fact for you. I remember Matt Castle with the Vikings, and people thought that maybe the Vikings would be a wild card team with him. I can't remember what I thought at the time. I'd like to think I wasn't as high on them with Matt Castle, but I might have been right there with him.
The second baseman, Robert.
To left. Yeah, I'm letting Wilkerson go 5 here, getting him stretched out. The truth is that I keep forgetting to take him out.
Now batting, the left fielder, Andrew Benintendi.
I need to get Detmers going. Expectations for Dalvin this year? I think to do a lot more receiving than he usually does. And the thing I'm excited about, the Vikings ran a preschool plan when it came to throwing to the running backs. And I'm excited for like a modernized idea because all they would do is like swing it out or dump it off as like a last resort check down. It was like the most basic ways, not running real routes, not actually designing concepts that create room for the running back out of the backfield. Like, I think Dalvin would be a really good receiving back. I don't think he'd be one of the best. I just don't think he's as natural of a receiver as a guy like Kamara or McCaffrey. But I think that once the ball is in his hands, almost no one can touch him. I think they should use Madison more as a runner. I don't think there's a running back in the NFL that should get 20 carries a game besides Derrick Henry. I think they should take his carries down to around 14 a game and then get him 6 catches. Cook has been lining up wide in camp quite a bit. Interesting. Are those from empty looks? Or is there another running back on the field at the same time? Okay, you can give me Chubb as well. I do love Nick Chubb. But there just isn't a lot of value in giving one guy 20 carries anymore because most of those guys are going to be better if you get the ball in their hands as a receiver.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Ryan Delay.
I think they should use JT as more of a receiver. There's almost every running back is better as a receiver. Well, that's not necessarily true. Adrian Peterson was a terrible receiver. But what they can do as receivers, I think, is more valuable in today's game than constantly giving a guy a bunch of carries. More wear and tear, more injuries. You can wear down a defense and play a physical brand of football by using multiple backs. Kareem Hunt asked for a trade. When was that? To right, but jammed. Najee will be a huge bust in fantasy this year. We'll see. He played behind the terrible offensive line with a quarterback that couldn't play under center. and was one of the better fantasy running backs last year just because he could handle the volume. For him to be a fantasy bust takes more than the Steelers being a bad team. I think it's highly unlikely he busts. He basically has to get hurt to do it because he's one of very few running backs who will be a bell cow. All right, I have to take out Wilkerson after this AB. I like Najee a lot this year. Mostly because I think he's going to get so much volume. There's Wilkerson. Definition of a bust for a first-round running back. Splits time more than you thought and doesn't get the touchdowns you expected. So a running back in the first round in fantasy only getting 1,000, 1,100 all-purpose and under 6 touchdowns is a bust.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Rockies.
Hey Kane, first stream I've gotten live. Been watching since 2014. I love your content. I miss Curtis Painter. You're one of the only people to ever say that on the planet. Congratulations, Shadow Gaming. Thank you for the super chat. You miss Curtis Painter. We all got love for backup quarterbacks, I think. And I think that now it's been long enough to be nostalgic for a guy like Curtis Painter. When it used to be Jim Sorgi of the Colts backing up Peyton Manning all those years. What did I think about the Zimmer stuff? What do you mean exactly? I appreciate the super chat. Mike Zimmer. What do you mean exactly by that? Jammed. Nice job, Detmers. That's exactly it, yeah. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a fantasy bust because he wasn't effective enough and didn't get the volume expected. He was a fantasy bust for his ADP. I really hope Saquon can still be really good. Last year was rough, though. It's hard to trust it at this point. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Running backs over the last decade have had these really short primes. We didn't get a decade of Todd Gurley at the top of his game. We got a couple seasons. Same for Le'Veon Bell. Same for David Johnson. All those guys were used as bell cow running backs. And together, their primes end up being like 6 seasons. And on the hands, caught. Does the NFL still have rivalries? Yeah, I think that there are. Bounce to the right side. Where's that good contact we had earlier in the game?
Up next for Colorado, the first baseman, Michael Tolio.
I think you'll see some good rivalry feel when it comes to the AFC West this year. A big part of it is for there to be a true rivalry, both sides need to be good enough. Not going to sneak through. So, Hunt demanded a trade. Browns just said no. So the ball's in his court. Is he going to hold out, not show up to camp? More Reed Detmers. Nicely done.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Yeah, I really hope Saquon can kind of get back to his top form again. But after last year, you wonder if he can. Running back is just such a punishing position. Got him. Nasty curveball from Detmers, and he's gotten 4 outs in impressive fashion.
Now batting, number 17.
Oh, the drama with Kirk and Zimmer. I mean, that was kind of doomed from the beginning because I don't think Zimmer wanted Kirk, and their relationship just never got to the point that I think you need for a team to be successful. But I mean, there's just so much blame to be thrown around a few different directions for why the Vikings haven't been good the last 4 years. The Kirk-Zimmer relationship is a piece of it. I'm not even sure it's the biggest piece, though. Oh, I don't think he liked Cousins. The scheme, I just felt was outdated. And I think once the Vikings no longer had an elite defense, it was more apparent because they had to do more. But they didn't have the coaching to unlock that next level. And at the same time, Kirk Cousins is not like a top-tier quarterback either. The Vikings have had so many offensive coordinators over the past 8 years with Mike Zimmer. I mean, there were so many in his entire tenure. And last year, they had Clint Kubiak, I think just to have some sort of continuity after Gary Kubiak retired. And I don't think he was at all ready. I don't think he did a good job of calling the game. I felt like they were able to script good opening sequences consistently. But as far as in-game adjustments and adapting to the game and just the overall calling of the game was terrible. The Vikings constantly got into 3rd down and long because of offensive line issues, bad play calls on 1st down, and these long 2nd down runs. It was always just, hey, Kirk, can you go convert 3rd down? Sometimes he would, but you can't have an offense that's built to just get through 3rd down. Good offenses get 1st downs on 1st down. What was my timing on that? That was fine.
Number 8.
Down the line, extra bases if he can leg this out, but he'll hold up at first. Nah, Keenum has more than one good throw. 2017 versus the Buccaneers. Check out that game. That was good case. Keenum was fun that year. Buccaneers were also terrible that season. Just can't check. More Reed Detmers here in the 8th.
Leading up for the Royals, the catcher.
That's cracked to right center. That might have been the Jameis 35,000 season. Or maybe it was the year after, because no, that doesn't sound right. Because that was with Bruce Arians, wasn't it? He wasn't there in 2017. I think he was with the Cardinals that year, and then he spent a year in the booth. I don't think it was that season. Come on, Reed. Ethan, we are near the end of game 2 here. We've had some really solid home run hitting from some young guys. The pitching has been solid. It's just been a good showcase overall. But now we're seeing if we can hold on to this lead late. On the ground, here's Edwards for 1. So now, how do we keep this run from scoring? How do I change my defensive alignment or just check it? Okay, they are playing in. Come on. Well, he's got a good changeup going right now. Let's see if we can try to set that up. Come on. No, I don't have a Discord with a channel or anything. Come on, Reed. If we walk Encarnacion, we're walking Judge too. All right, we're going to walk the bases loaded. Oh, they took Judge out. Lefty here. What do you know about AJ Graffanino? Puts down the bunt. We'll get the 1. I'm a little surprised he didn't run home on that. He got the bunt down.
Your attention, please.
And now, Kelvin Gutierrez. Do I think the Ravens are a top 3 AFC team? I don't think I would this year coming into the season. I still think they're a solid team. But I like where the Chiefs are still, and Buffalo, and the Chargers. They're in that kind of second tier of teams to me that still like should be playoff caliber. Come on. Curveball from Detmers. 3-2. Try it again. Got him to chase it. That was for you, JF. Thank you for all the super chats today, everybody, and the new members. If you haven't dropped a like on the video yet, that would be much appreciated. I saw you saying gotta throw the curveball more. I threw 2 straight there. Got him to chase it.
Number 26.
And now, who do we give the chance to save? Because Detmers has given us, I think, 7 outs or so. He's looked good. Do we go John Curtis? I know you guys want to see Jelly. I think I'll play a 3rd game because these are going by so quick. So let's get Curtis in after this. Into center. But an easy play. I appreciate it, Riz. Just randomly found you. Well, if you like what you see or hear, there are, you know, between the 2 channels, only 5,000 plus videos at this point, so. Welcome aboard. Amador right center field. He's been crushing in this game. Already a home run, and now a stand-up double as we try to tack on our 5th run. When the Rockies win the World Series, first off, I'll say that's an if, not when. But if we were to win the World Series, say this year, there would be a season 7 still. The World Series isn't the end. It's just, it makes ending a lot easier when you've already gotten one of those out of your way. No, I still think there's a long way to go overall. No. Edwards Pops out. Who do we have now? Is it a pitcher spot? I forget where I hit him in this game. That's right, leadoff. Thank YouTube's algorithm, man. Must be doing something right if you come across the stream randomly. We're in year 5, actually year 6 now of my Rockies franchise. Building a winner here isn't easy. Base hit left field. I wish that would have been a smart test. That wasn't a good throw.
Up next for Colorado, the first baseman.
It still takes one more from Tolia. He hit 2 home runs in the game we played earlier, but he's 0 for 4 in this game. A little early on that one. Spent 12 seasons with the Cubs in MLB 21, made 2 World Series, lost both in Game 7. That's rough. Just had to move on after that. 3-1. Veen on deck. Tolia trying to make the team. And he will reach. Checking the Twins score right now. 2-0.
Number 13.
Get some runs going. Zach Veen. 2020 first round pick of the Rockies. Bases juiced here with 2 down. Missing low. I think the Orioles are in a good spot. It's just who they're always up against is inconvenient. Lifted to left, but that's not what you want to see. I think the Orioles are just, they're on the right track. They didn't go all in or anything this year to try and go and steal a wild card spot. They're building something. And I think that, you know, they could legit be a team to worry about going forward, especially because they didn't get over aggressive. Are the Twins a threat to the Yanks, Stros, and Jays? I think the Twins can hang with Toronto. And they've won the season series against them. I don't think they can handle the Astros or the Yankees in a series. But I do think they could handle Toronto. I think it would be more competitive.
Count 2-2.
Oh, your team was built to win now, not much in the minors. So you kind of went all in, but to get back, it would take multiple years, and weren't really wanting to do that. I totally get that. You knew your era was done. Man. And there is no best of 3 wild card. That's the rule that I want to see them do. I think the wild card should be a best of 3, all in the same series, 3 days in a row.
Now back, the designated hitter, Edward Flores.
And I actually think that a good idea for the Major League schedule, they did it this year out of necessity because of the lockout, is that flies over the head of Pearson. 2nd and 3rd with 1 down. The newcomer, John Curtis, in a jam here. But I think the major leagues should look to do a couple planned doubleheaders every year. The issue there would be you need to have makeup doubleheaders. You know, so is it a good idea to throw planned doubleheaders on the schedule as well? That could really throw things off. Maybe it's not a good idea. How about shorten the season to 155 games? That'll never happen. This is your first stream, Ethan. What took you so long? Now I'm playing. Good to have you here. Right back to the pitcher. He's got to find it, and does. That's 2. We weren't no hit. We had 1. Very solid contact, thank you, from Solak. And now Curtis, 1 out away from the save. Grounded softly to Edwards. And the game is over. We hold on. That was a close one here. Not the cleanest outing there for John Curtis, but we'll take it. GG's. This has been fun. I'm going to play one more. These have been fast games. Yeah, Judge went yard off of us, but what do you expect? We hit 4 homers in that game with 4 like backup caliber players.
4 runs on 9 hits.
Pretty cool.
Errors. They left 9 runners on base.
Nice to see that from Quintero, because we're in a situation where it's like no matter what he does, he's making the team because he's the backup catcher. I mean, we don't have anybody else to do the job. So I would like to see more of Reed Detmers, I think. 14 innings, 16 strikeouts. So when I haven't pitched with him, it's been rough. Let's see. Can I get a WAR? Let's not go WAR. Let's go FIP. How do you go -1 FIP? What's that mean? How does that work? This can go negative? My recruiting errors are not hilarious. They are unfortunate outcomes. -1 FIP. How is that possible? Sean Jelly, Taylor Rogers. Yeah, some of these guys I wish had a few more innings. I want to see more at Detmers. There's Ethan Small. And then Michael Wilkerson. He's right there. I'm not sure Wilkerson's ready to start. He might even begin at AAA. We'll see. Who should we see more of in this game? I think I have to pitch at least twice with Detmers. So I need to get into a game where he's got some stamina. Negative FIP means you're cooking. Based on his walk rate, strikeout rate, and home run rate, the formula expects him to have given up 0 runs this month. It's 1 inning, so I mean, it probably wouldn't last. But he got 2 strikeouts in the inning. Do I think Aaron Donald could be considered the GOAT? They only do that for quarterbacks. But I think the issue is getting to some of those long-standing records. Like, some of those guys just played an awful long time. I don't think you're going to see a lot of those records broken. Like Jerry Rice's, Bruce Smith, Emmett Smith's records are going to stand for a very long time. And then Brady's. Because that longevity is just hard to come by. Aaron Donald isn't even halfway to the sack record, for instance. He's not even halfway. The record's 200. He has 98. He's an absolute Hall of Famer. Easily. Even without the championship season last year. Yeah, Emmett Smith. It can't be understated just how long he played. Like, Frank Gore played forever, but Emmett Smith did it, and his peaks were higher. Strahan's sack record, yeah, that's going down in the next 5 years or less, I would say. Now that there's a 17th game, I mean, Watt tied it I think that there are a lot of really good pass rushers in the league right now, and now a 17th game in a pass-heavy league, it's going down. That one's not tough to me. So I'm going to play the next game where I can start with Reed Detmers, and he has energy. Where is he? I missed him the first 2 times. I definitely want to see more of Valade. I think he's looked really good. One guy I think is looking more expendable in some ways is Trey Turner. Unless he raises his on-base percentage this year. Because we have a couple really good infielder prospects. What am I doing down there? Sorry, I'm setting up this lineup again. I've enjoyed hitting with these guys. Really getting used to them. Maybe I'll play this game with Trey. Let's throw him in center field. Yeah, I like that. They want me to move up Valade. He's hitting 400 with 40 at-bats. Wow. Jacob Pearson's not hitting very well. Okay. Let's put in Golden for a game then. He went yard last time. Oh, I don't have Amador out there. How many spots can Amador play? Second and third? All right, I'm going to put him in there for Shunk. All right, let's go. Brian Burns is breaking the sack record this season. I wouldn't put it past him. But the Panthers need to be good enough offensively for other teams to have to keep throwing. Jets pushing for a wild card spot this year? It depends how much of a leap Zach Wilson takes. All right, let's play some baseball. We got Xavier Edwards leading things off. Third game of the day, final game of the day. Been a really fun stream. Almost.
First pitch, 111.
There's a lot of Drew Lock talk going right in the comments section right now. Are we even sure he starts this season over Geno? How's that camp battle going? It's got to just be surreal to have, like, no Russell Wilson, and now it's the Geno Smith, Drew Lock training camp battle. That sounds like something out of Madden.
Batting second, the center fielder, number 7,
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner.
No. At least I didn't swing at that one. All right, 1-1 from Alec Bettinger. It does sound like a blackjack series, yes. I remember when Geno Smith was a rookie, I think, and he threw a pick 6 on the very first play against the Vikings. Oh, who caught it? It was a linebacker, Gerald Hodges. There's a guy, Gerald Hodges. Dude, I've been so early on here. I do think there's like more of a pronounced speed difference between like each mile per hour in this game. I think playing a little bit more of the other MLB 22 has thrown me off a little bit with handling speed differences. Oh, and 2 to Tolia. Yeah, change-ups will forever be my enemy. I love to check out NHL, but every time the game comes out, I always have a reason for why I don't have time to play. It's tough. I hope I have time to check it out. We'll see. Are the NHL games, like, in a good spot? How has it been the last few years? I have no idea what the community thinks of that game. Ah, top of the zone. Good pitch. And now let's get Reed Detmers out there. This is kind of a starting pitching audition for him. Line to Edwards. He'll take care of it. Better than 2K or FIFA. Kind of up in the air. NHL is one of the better done sports games. Luis Arise. I know a lot of stuff that comes to Madden was first in NHL. So they're kind of the trailblazers for EA Sports titles. Shallow center. Yeah, the contact quality off Detmers has not been much. This is looking pretty promising.
Batting third, the left fielder, Christian Yelich.
Ball 1, no strike. 2-0.
Now trying to come back 2-0 against Yelich. Ooh, that's not where I wanted it. Yeah, I'm thinking more, too, about, like, on the second channel. Do I start a regular franchise rebuild right away or something more themed? Like a challenge? I don't know yet. Ooh, he got him. Coming back from a 2-0 count. Detmers has looked pretty good.
Leading off for the Rockies, the shortstop, Ryan Belay.
That's Valade making it a tough play from short, and he beats it out. I haven't played Super Mega Baseball this year, no. I really like the game. I'm a big fan of that series, but I haven't played it this year. I would imagine they're putting out a game next year. Now, I know that they were acquired by EA, so I don't know what they're working on anymore. But I think that Super Mega Baseball 3 came out in 19 or 2020. Next year, I think would have to be a release year for them. Throwing low, Valade Out at second. Tried to steal a base there. I almost never steal. And almost always strike out on the changeup.
Batting six, the left fielder, number 13.
Can he beat this one out? Veen out by a hair. EA bought Metalhead Studios, the company that makes it. And I don't have any information, but if I had to predict, put my thinking cap on, it would be to hopefully put the MLB license into Super Mega Baseball and make a good budget-friendly option for an MLB game to replace RBI baseball. Because if you just put the MLB license into Super Mega Baseball, that's a great game. It's already a great game, but you put everybody's favorite players and stadiums in there, and you don't have to do anything else. The gameplay's rock solid. And that's what I would believe is going to happen, with a heavy emphasis on Ultimate Team. Nice job, Detmers. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate your quality content and general pleasantness. I should put that up on the wall. General pleasantness. I don't know if that is the Minnesotan in you, but still. Appreciate it, man. I just want people to have a good time when they check out the content.
One ball, one strike.
Y'all let me wake up and spend all this time making content. The least I could do is help you have a good time. Come on. I know, I haven't been throwing the curveball much. I gotta do it, JF. You're right. You're right. I gotta throw that curveball a whole lot more. Let me see my my pitch selection to this point. I've only thrown one curveball in 2 innings. Oh, I've thrown 20 pitches, one curveball.
The third baseman.
Well, he keeps having higher confidence in his slider.
Ball. Count 1-0.
What I gotta figure out, and this is with anybody who throws a curveball, do I trust him to throw it for a strike, or is it simply an out pitch? Like, how well does he control it? Because if you can throw that, now I can throw it early in the count. A lot of guys, I can only throw curveballs down here.
I got to count 2 and 2.
That's 2 in a row, though. We can't do it every time. 2 and 2. Left center. I'm impressed he caught up to it. I've really liked what I've seen from Detmers. In real life, he's more of a get-me-over guy. I don't know about the show. Yeah, some guys are better at getting punch-outs. Let me see his ratings. But in general, I think in the show, control guys can be really good at getting strikeouts. Like, remember when I was playing with Dallas Keuchel and I turned him into like a Cy Young candidate? 79K per 9. What has he been? Well, there isn't a lot of history in here. But he hasn't been an overwhelming strikeout guy. 7.9K per 9. He threw a no-hitter with like 4Ks.
The third baseman.
That's pretty impressive.
Number 20.
Just leaving that much in play lets luck take over so much of the outcome. Here's a guy that I'm just like waiting for his turn to get to the show, Adele Amador. Kind of had a log jam there in the infield, keeping guys like him at AAA. Keep in mind we have Ryan Valade, who was just Rookie of the Year, and then Xavier Edwards. Only so many infield spots to go around. And that's going to right field. He's just got a nice swing. Overrun, but we will not get to second. Oh, man. Oh, I liked the Padres deadline a lot. I mean, on one hand, you got Juan Soto. On the other hand, you kept him from going to LA. And you should get Tatis back. You got Josh Hader, who maybe isn't having his best year. That was an interesting trade. I think it could work out for the Brewers. They got that one prospect from the Padres who's stolen 60 bases in the minors this season. I forget his name right now. But they got a big name arm. I wasn't expecting, you know, Taylor Rogers for Josh Hader with, you know, prospects and Dinelson Lamet. That had some real MLB The Show energy in that trade. That's a walk. Yeah, Hader's stuff is better. And now let's see how Detmer's bunts.
Number 15.
Yeah, the Brewers DFA'd Lamet right as they got him. Who is it? Ruiz? Was he the guy who was hitting like 300 and stole 60 bases this year in the minors?
The second base.
Something Ruiz?
Edwards.
I like the checkout out of the park. When it came out, I didn't really have time to do so. And now we got Madden coming up, so I think I'm going to miss it again, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because I love managerial stuff, and that game is so in-depth. To left field. Send him. 56 speed, headed to the plate and scoring. 1-0. Yeah. Esteury Ruiz, that's who it is.
The batter.
Oh, and they got Josh Bell. Now, if they were getting Rockies franchise Josh Bell, that'd be something. He's still a good player. But I like our Josh Bell a lot. I don't know much about Gasser, but that's a great name to have if you're a pitcher. Base hit from Trey. Kind of like, you know, Quentin Jammer played corner. You always like that.
The first baseman, Michael Toglia.
Gasser. He better have a good fastball. Don't even tell me he's like an 88 guy. $120K in 95 innings. That's gas. No. Man. You have the same problem I have. Slow pitches down low always get me. Yeah. Slow pitches anywhere get me. 3-1. Low to mid 90s. Might have to work on the velocity a little bit for marketing purposes. Pulled to the right side, and that's going to end the inning. Ah, well. Oh, yeah, Brandon Drury's having a really good season. Every now and then you get a guy like that who I never thought much about Drury in the past. Just kind of a guy who hits at the bottom of the Diamondbacks order. But every year, a couple of those guys just, it clicks.
1-1.
I'm trying to set up a nice curveball. We got it. Really? You can homer Zach Gallen every time you face him? Teach me your ways. Wow. I'm liking that. Let's see if we can just throw one in the zone here. Football Manager, the best football simulation game ever. Like, it doesn't even sound natural coming out of my mouth to say football or whatever. I know, I need to understand it more. Like, I don't understand the game, and I don't understand the leagues. You know, you got things like loaning players, relegation, which as a concept I think sounds really cool. But, it's a little much for me. Right now, blew him away.
Batting ninth. The
And
pitcher.
now it's just the pitcher. I'm giving Detmers a 4th inning. That's the thing that I like too. Yeah, that you can get sent down to a different league if you tank or have a bad season. So it's like anything that can make you want your team to win, even if they're terrible, is a good thing. And there isn't like a draft or anything, correct? It's all like scouting and signing players when they're 13 years old, right? Isn't that the gist of managing a soccer team? Each country has a league pyramid, top league with leagues underneath. Top teams in each league after each season get to play continental comps. I like it. Oh, MLS has a draft. Okay. Do they have a weird rule? Like, I can't imagine they make you have any college experience. Is it like baseball where you have high school players and college athletes drafted in the same draft? Detmers has been really good. I need more.
Picking up for Colorado. The shortstop, Ryan Valet.
0-1.
No. 91 and behind it. That never feels good. That doesn't either.
Up next for Colorado, the right fielder, Casey Golday.
Yeah, I think I'm going to let Detmers go as long as he can in this outing. You know, he gave up a lot to get him. I think he has more upside than Ethan Small. And if we play our cards right here, he's 26 years old, a potential. If this is a good year, we could be developing another top flight starter for our rotation. So it's kind of his job to lose at the moment. Why no PCI? Just wondering. So when it comes to franchise, I want outcomes to be more rating based, and I don't want like my PCI usage to be an important part of what happens. I really just want the player ratings to matter the most. And sure, it would matter more if I just sat here and watched the game without playing, but this way their contact and power ratings matter more than anything. It's not me lining up the PCI. And I'm just playing the CPU, so I'm not playing to be competitive and the best version of myself at this game. I just want to see, you know, I want player ratings to matter, because if they didn't, then I would just mash with random AAA players. Bad. Look to trade Trey for a top prospect, start Valade, free up money for a potential big ad mid-season if I'm contending. I'm open to that idea, Gio. Thank you for the super chat. I'm open to it. I'm even open to platooning early on to see, like, how it could look for some of these guys to play more. You can watch without playing in this game? Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah. You can team select, put it right in the center. And now you're here. Thank you for not swinging at that. Let me take over again. Yeah, Devers is still on the team. We're not seeing starters here because it's spring training and I'm using other players. And there's also the whole manage side of the game too. You know, in quick manage. I don't want to jump in here right now. But there's a lot of ways to play the game. I keep forgetting to send him. Michael, thank you for the super chat. There is no message attached, but I really appreciate that. It's always the changeup. All right, more Reed Detmers. Kind of as long as he can go in this game. Luis Arise. If I have a chance, though, this year, I want to at least do something, even just 1 or 2 streams with NHL and FIFA. I mean, I could get them on EA Play, check them out, the 10-hour trial, stream to get people helping me out. We'll have to see. I will say I have a much better like upload schedule and kind of content creation schedule this year. That is mostly new. I started doing this a few months ago. Whenever the UTSA Dynasty began, I knew what I was doing at the time wasn't good enough. And I just developed kind of a rough upload schedule where on the main channel I'm posting every other day. I don't get to that every... You know, I don't stick to that 100% of the time, but I've been pretty good about it for the past few months. And then on the second channel, I'm aiming to do 3 days in a row where I post, and then a day from posting, and then 3 more videos, and try to stick to that as much as I can. And it's led to me putting out more videos than I was before. So that was the ultimate goal. And it's also just creating an like a content creation schedule that really works for me. So I might find myself able to actually tackle it this year. Thank you for the super chat, Black Cobalt SS. I have to say, watching you play Road to the Show and talking about baseball has gotten me back to watching baseball in real life and playing the show. So thanks for that. I'm a Nats fan, so losing Soto sucked. I apologize for not doing it a couple years earlier for you to more so enjoy the World Series run. And thank you, Nate, for becoming a new member. You got the 1-year badge, so it's not entirely new. Appreciate you coming back.
Leading off for the Rockies, the catcher, number 8.
Yeah, I mean, the show helped me get back into baseball. Doing like the Twins franchise around that time is when I began getting back into baseball. Fell out of it from 2010 until 2016, 2017. I felt like I was coming back to a whole new league full of guys I did not know at all. Really wanted to do more than that. It's all good, Nate. I don't expect anybody to stay a member forever. Whatever works for you. Appreciate it. Detmers kind of looks a little intimidating there in the batter's box. He's kind of a big guy. Nice lefty. He could pass for a first baseman. Maybe not with that swing, but he looked the part.
Now batting, second baseman, Xavier Edwards.
Are there big situations of relegation like that? It's not just like bottom feeders getting swapped out, but sometimes maybe a more acclaimed club. In the air to center. Not a lot of offense here.
Leading off for the Brewers, the third baseman, Isak.
I don't use sliders, Nate. These are my sliders. It's the default stuff except for the trade slider. And I play on Hall of Fame difficulty with directional hitting, button interface, no PCI. It just works for me. The one thing I'll say is more person to person is difficulty. You know, I don't know if it's too easy or too hard, but start at All-Star or the next step lower. Figure out what's right for you there. I think that's the only thing you're missing if you have your settings set up like mine. Wait, they dropped 2 straight years, so it's not a 2-level system. What was that? And what was that? My man's over here doubling up on errors. He didn't even get an error there, but I feel like he should have 2. Come on. That was Casey Golden. After that play, you're now Casey Bronze. That was a terrible play. Nice. All right, Detmers. Put him away. Ooh, not like that. There's tons of levels. Okay. Really? England has 20 levels? Only 6 playable in Football Manager? 20 levels? That's gotta be all the way, come on. That's gotta be all the way from the world-class leagues down to, like, your buddies you play with on the weekends league. That kind of reminds me of, like, the emergency goalie in hockey. On Monday, he was fixing refrigerators for a living. But on Tuesday, he was playing goalie for the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is the story of Adam Kane. I apologize, Jaden. Same here. Nats fan. Saw the game where we won the World Series, but never started really getting into it until this year when I saw your series. I'm glad so many of you are getting back into baseball because of the content. That is a pretty big compliment, I think. And I've been getting a lot of those comments. I feel like a lot of people were kind of not really into baseball a lot, but maybe the content has shown, like, there's something to it. Even I had to fall back in love with the game. Come on. So Reed might only go 5 innings here, but it's been a good outing nonetheless. Kind of feels like he's falling apart here. He's not confident in any of his pitches. We have to get the bullpen going. I think everybody wants to see a little jelly here. Oh, he went after it, and that one gets away from the catcher. as they'll take second base on a pass ball. Got him with the curveball. That is tough. Yeah, 162 games is a grind. I don't watch every game. Twins are playing right now and I'm not watching. I probably watch 4 or 5 games a week though. But even then, baseball is the one game where like checking out the box score tells you most of what you need to know. If there was one game to only look at the box scores, it is baseball. Especially if you have any idea about any other stats that are more in depth.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They'll tell you a lot.
please. Now,
Twins still losing 2-0.
number 71.
Do they roll out some goofy day game lineup today? Arise, Polanco, Kepler, Miranda? No, it's like the same lineup they had the last couple nights.
The center
Archer went 5.
Trey.
Cole Sands is pitching. Oh, it's Gossman. That explains it more so. I just caught up on the Twins in like 20 seconds. The Reds just scored 7 in the 9th. Were they losing? Who'd they do that against? Two and 1 to Trey. I don't like that pitch. Two and 2. Can't lay off, low off speed.
Now batting.
Oh, the other thing that's cool about Tolia too is he's a switch hitter. I think we're going to like him as a bench bat this year. Hammer deep to center. Tolia gives it a ride, and he has left the yard again. A hanging breaking ball. Finally, it wasn't the low off speed. There we go. No playoffs in individual leagues. Yeah, that's right. All right, Tatis does good for you in Road to the Show. When you're hitting in front of him, that's good to know.
Now batting.
I was hoping that it wasn't just a universal thing for cleanup hitters in there or something, because some others were saying that the 4-hitter behind them wasn't doing well. Sometimes those straight fastballs give me a problem because there's not a lot of movement to track. It's just getting closer to me, and I'm slower. That's why I like curveballs so much, because the arc is easier to follow for me. Tolia won league MVP 3 years straight in my Road to the Show, and now he's on the Diamondbacks with me. 299 overall, hitting 3 and 4. That's awesome. If we can just have half of that Tolia, we'd be doing great. Appreciate Super Chat, Michael. Hey, I didn't screw it up. It was his fault. I know the Premier League just started their season, right? When are games? Aren't they like Saturday mornings, like 8 a.m.? I'm awake, but is that when I have to be prepared? Ground ball through. I wake up early now. That's another thing I've gotten right this year is the sleep schedule.
batting, number 13.
Saturday and Sunday mornings. Well, I'll tell you what, Sunday morning during football season, I'm unavailable. Saturday, though, perhaps. I need a club. Whatever team emotionally captures me first wins. Really hope I don't end up picking like the Vikings of the Premier League. Can I pick a winner for once? Just root for Arsenal. I've been told not to in the past. Nice job. I'll tell you what though, that was kind of my gut reaction. Arsenal. I just know the name.
The left fielder, Christian Yelich. Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Rockies,
Sean Jelly.
number 84.
It's Jelly versus Yelly here in the 6th inning. Let's go.
Nope, that's the ball. 1-1.
Oh, he's behind it.
1-2.
Here's Jelly.
Oh, that's out.
He misses outside. And now 3-2. That was a good pitch. Hey, college football is not on at 8 in the morning on Saturdays. I'm hoping to spend more of my Saturdays watching college football this season. I'm looking forward to the start of the year. If I can get a better hold of, like, maybe just the top of the league, because to me it's always like, oh, so many teams, so many players, where do I go? How do I keep up with this? I want to do more than just box score scout. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, I'm done. That's every college football season for me. Got him! Taken off to second base. Quintero's too late.
The right fielder, number 15. Tyler.
And you're going nowhere.
Now batting, third baseman. East up. Oh, great hit.
I am excited for the new NCAA football game to an extent. Like, I'm excited it's going to happen. But, I mean, we're talking about modern day gaming. We'll see if the product is worth being excited about. I am hopeful based on the fact that we've known about this game for a long time and they haven't rushed it out. We've known about it for a while. Three and two. And one more curveball. Jelly. Oh, what a play at first to end the inning. Phenomenal defense. Rockies keep it tied.
Now pitching for
That was Tolia, right? Doing it with the bat and the glove.
the number 62.
7th inning tied at 2.
One ball.
I'm late. NCAA 06, still great game. Yeah, I've played a little bit of it for the second channel, I believe. I know I played it in a stream at some point in the last couple of years, and I was impressed with a lot of stuff I saw. I don't really watch college basketball, no. I haven't watched the tournament in a couple of years. I do see them expanding to like basketball and stuff if the football game does well. The only issue is that EA and basketball haven't really done well in the last 15 years. So, I don't know. We got a lefty on the mound here. Let's go David Geronimo.
Your attention, please. Pinch hit for Colorado.
Coming off the bench.
David Geronimo.
Strike one. I got to get somebody warm, though. Let's go Ethan Small for the next inning against his former team. Why did you look at that pitch? 0-2 to David Geronimo. You play all those old college games. You loved 06. What was it about the year 2005, man? 2-2. Because there was an NCAA baseball the next year. You know, everybody talks about NCAA 06. They never talk about NCAA 07. Who was even on the cover of that game? Flied to center routinely. It wasn't a changeup, Braven. It was a simple fastball that didn't even fool me. Was it Reggie Bush? Yeah, I can't remember which year he was on the cover, but that just seems like a year I don't remember. Ooh. We know Detmers has a good curveball. How about Small? Lost him. Give me a nice ground ball here, Bryce. 0-2. Just signed Blake Snell in my Guardians franchise. They already have a lot of pitching, and you add more in free agency, huh? How much you have to pay them? Like $15 a year? Wow, DeGrom hit 102 today. Come on, Ethan. Very nice. Yeah, we talked a little bit about NHL earlier in the stream. I'd love to check it out and see if I can get into it. It's just all about if I feel like I have time when the game comes out. As this one's going to rattle off the wall, and they're going to hold up at third. Second and third now for Milwaukee. I did not see the inning playing out like this. Let's get Dominguez up here. We have runners on base. I like bringing him in for those situations. Trying to put down the bunt. They love putting on the squeeze play in this game. They just don't have a plan B for when they don't bunt. 0-2. I don't think that Chris Wells' inaccuracy has cost us too much. I think it's been my fault. His accuracy isn't as good, but I just don't think Young offers enough. It'd have to be more of a quick hitting, spread, kind of air raid style offense, and that's not really what I want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. This change defensively for the Brewers. Now playing center.
I'm a sports commentator, Billy. I'm commentating a sport right now. A little late, I guess, into left center. The 06 games felt like they had more life in them, depth, presentation for Franchise and Dynasty. So, like,
The center fielder,
is NCAA baseball better 06 versus 07? I imagine that's your stance if it's the one you play. Because I have 06. I was just under the impression that 07 would be a better version. Two and one to Trey Turner. Catch me out in front again. Baseball-wise, 07 is the better game. I think Joe Buck's gotten a lot better for football over the past, like, 5 years or so. I used to not enjoy him and Aikman together, but I think he's gotten a lot better. I think he shows a lot more emotion, captures moments better. I think he's better for baseball, but his football is growing on me. I agree, 07 was a bit better. Okay. How come you picked 06 then? I'm curious. If you think 07's a better game, that was a home run ball, Mike. Come on, Big Mike. Very early. March Madness 06. March Madness, was that the EA game? Because I know 2K put out College Hoops. Because I remember it was NCAA basketball for a while. March Madness was EA. EA basketball games in that era, though, I thought were really fun.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Brewers. Number 16, Colton Wong.
I got really into NCAA basketball 09. And everybody online would play as UConn. With Hashim the Beat.
Pinch hitting for the Brewers.
That's all I remember. They had some other really good players on that team. That UConn team was loaded. Okay. That makes sense. '06 in general had a lot of good sports games. Like Madden 06 wasn't bad either. Oh, that team had Kemba Walker? Was that who was draining threes against me in that game? I got really into that game because Steph Curry was at Davidson, and that was the year that they made the long run in the tournament. And so I liked playing with Steph Curry in NCAA basketball. I think that was 09 because they had Kevin Love on the cover. Good game. I wonder if I can get my hands on that one still. Got him. I have College Hoops 2K8, which I know is kind of a sought-after game on the 360. But to me, I don't know exactly, but I liked playing NCAA 09 more than College Hoops. The gameplay, to me, I just preferred it from the EA side of things.
Now playing second base, number 16, Colton Wong. Now in left.
I don't know if I want to do another career mode at the same time, Billy. I like career mode, but that would take time away from doing a franchise of some sort. And unless they overhauled the mode to make it more interesting, I don't think I would do it. I don't want a story. I don't need the stuff they've been doing with that. I want more of a Road to Glory-like experience where you earn abilities and rise up the depth chart, and there's just, I don't know, Road to Glory was so perfect. No, that was bad. College Hoops 2K8 is the better game. I felt like it was a steeper learning curve for me. I was overwhelmed by it. Maybe if I spent more time with it, I would get a hold of it. And I'm not against trying it out a bit more because, I mean, I have a whole Kalispell team made on there. And I think it would be a fun idea. No, low change-ups. Having trouble getting this third run. We have 6 hits in this game to their 3. Oh, that was fine. That was good timing, yeah. Right with it. Two and two. Can we just get somebody aboard? Well, I had to go after it. No good. So this is a custom camera, Sean. This is based off of Fisheye 2. So if you are messing around with the custom cameras, start out with Fisheye 2, and then I like to how do you do it again? I definitely zoom it in a little bit. But how do you get to the custom? Oh, that's pitching view I was on. My bad. Right? How the heck do you do this? Square to edit. There you go. Took me a minute. So I zoom in a little bit, tilt down, and that'll get you there.
Number 13.
I made that camera when I played, I believe, the Twins franchise. And when I got back into the show again, I took a screenshot of me hitting with Byron Buxton at Target Field. And I used that to recreate it almost identically in the next game. And I will continue to do that. So I can make the exact same camera every year. I could have turned on that pitch if I knew how to hit the inside slider, but it doesn't work that way for me. Ah. 2-2 to Zach Veen. Got a piece of it into center. This one's going to die, but be caught. And we go bottom 9 now, and we're trying to force extras. I do not want this pitching view, though. I screwed that up. Is that what I have it set to? Broadcast? Yeah, that looks right. We're going to bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez. And we're going to get Tony Losi stretching.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Colorado, number 58.
There were a lot of Jays fans there. I saw that from the TV broadcast. Favorite Madden franchise on the main channel would be the Denver Broncos series because it was interconnected with my dynasty, and it went 10 years. It was just a very fulfilling project. It just did more than every other franchise I've done. Do not walk the leadoff man. That's step one. We have failed step one.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Hitting to the Brewers.
There you go.
11, Billy McKinney.
And strike two. Quickly ahead of Billy McKinney. Got to be more competitive than that. And that. Oh, I thought that was strike three. That's line to center. Got it for the first out. This is the final game of the stream, by the way. Hope y'all are having a good time with it.
Now batting, catcher, Manuel Tejera.
We have a 2-2 count here on Tejada. I'm kind of getting locked in right now. I wish Dominguez was as locked in as I am. 3-2. Yeah, he's just not been close. Come on. Oh, that's just terrible. Yeah, the changeup keeps drifting. And the fastball's off. Do you do mound visits in spring training? Honestly, Billy, no. I haven't. I like doing what I do. Mm-mm. 3-2 though. We come back. They're calling for a two-seam fastball. Ugh, got something in my eye. He missed.
Your attention, please.
Well, they're one run from winning. 24 pitches in. If a closer can't get it done in 24 pitches, I think his day is just done. I don't normally pitch guys through that. Closers need to get the job done faster. So, Tony Losi. Can he get it done? Now, he was kind of throwing like Emilio Pagan with a little more velocity. I don't know if I like a first pitch curveball here. Fastball. Ah, I tried to take one there, and umpire won't give it to me. Ground ball. Oh, we got to get two, and we won't. Ah, man. Losi had to make that play, and he missed it. All right. Brewers win it. So a 2-1 spring training stream. That was fun, though. He looked like he was going to make the play. He just missed. So close. Well, can't win them all.
The final line score for our ball game.
That was a rough inning for Dominguez.
Victorious group.
What does the mound visit do other than allow for subs? It can help with their confidence. It's pretty useful for that. So that's a fair amount of gameplay we've gotten. Tolia, I might do a player lock game with Tolia still. Looks like Tolia's making the team. Pearson, though, has struggled, and he does have an option left. So I don't know if he's on the big league roster day one. Veen hasn't been great either, but he's out of options. Shunk, he hasn't really done enough. He's got options, so he's going down probably. Amador, yep, this is the last year we can use his option. Valade, he's cooking right now. Rookie of the year, season ago. Not even guaranteed playing time right now. We'll get him some, though. And then for pitchers, anybody need more innings? Well, I don't think Losi makes the team. I should pitch more with Jelly. Maybe. 13 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings. Wilkerson's kind of struggling to start off, so maybe he begins the year at AAA. I think that's probably a good call. Give him more time. And based on what I did playing with Detmers, I'm interested in him opening in the rotation, even though as a whole the numbers haven't been great. That was a lot of fun, though. I had a really good time with this stream. I hope you did as well. That is going to about wrap this one up. I know some of you already have, and I appreciate it. If you want to get into some fantasy football right now, best ball, I have been partnered up here with Underdog Fantasy if you want to check them out. Been doing some best ball drafts over here. I have a video on my second channel if you want to check that out. So this is one of the best ball teams that I made in a video over there, trying to win the Puppy 3 best ball tournament. For more information on that, check out Underdog Fantasy, and if you make an account and use the coupon code Kane or the promo code Kane, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. But yeah, it's been a great stream, everybody. Thank you for spending some time with me on this Sunday afternoon, getting some gameplay ahead of Year 6 with the Rockies, and that should allow me to put together the next episode. Will I keep the one out of options on the roster? Yeah. It takes a lot for me to get rid of somebody who doesn't have any more options. So yeah, I want to get this season started up soon. UTSA, one more video plus a bowl game for that season to be over. And then before you know it, we're on to Madden 23. And I'll be focusing on that the first week it's out. But also, I mentioned earlier in the video that you can, or that I wanted to go back to my old franchise files and just see what's in there. Go back and talk about the series a bit and the rosters and everything that's in there. Just open up those files and see what we come across. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the Underdog link is in the description if you want to check that out, and I appreciate it. Big fan of what they're doing at Underdog Fantasy. But as far as the main channel goes, got a new season getting underway. UTSA is approaching year 3 already. I like where that series is right now. I've had so much fun playing the games. Some of the most fun games I've had period. So we'll see if we can get a Madden franchise added to the channel here once the game is out. But that's going to do it for me, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care. Have a great day.